Doctor Who star John Barrowman is used to time travel. Will his latest adventure turn out to be science fiction or science fact? John, welcome. How are you feeling now, just before you watch it?
I'm quite nervous, actually, and I was nervous before I went in, but I'm excited because, I don't know, it's walking into the unknown, really. And
what were your thoughts before you went in? Were you on the fence, believer?
I'm a believer because my mother is very spiritual, and I'm spiritual in that sense that I believe there is an afterlife or a prior life that you can be involved in.
Well, you certainly got into it, that's for sure. It's been a while since we filmed John's regression. Up until now, he hasn't seen the tape of what happened. I think it's time to put that right. If you're ready, here you go. Regression therapist Andrea Falk starts by helping John achieve a state of deep relaxation. It's only then she believes that he'll be able to recall memories stored in his subconscious. Others would argue that everything you're about to hear is the result of an overactive imagination. The question is, what will John think?
You inside or outside?
I'm inside.
And what are you inside of?
Tent.
What kind of tent?
Circus tent.
And how do you feel in the circus tent?
Happy.
And are you aware of having a physical body? What kind?
I'm a clown.
And how do you feel about being a clown?
Really good.
What's funny?
Just I'm looking at myself in the mirror.
And how do you look?
I look very silly.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing a striped white, red and white striped kind of punch, like, you know, like a parachute kind of outfit. It's very big, with ruffles, and I have big red feet and a really white face and the pointed hat, and I have a big red bauble on the top. My name's Oliver.
And what's your family name?
Nostrovich. Oliver Nostrovich.
And where do you live, Oliver?
In Bucharest.
And how old are you when you're this clown?
19.
And where are your family?
They're in Bucharest also.
And what do they do for a living?
They're circus. We're circus people.
And what part does your father play in the circus?
My father and mother they're trapeze artists, but I'm a clown.
Are there any other clowns?
Not in the family, just me. Actually, it's strange.
Why is it strange?
Because my family are trapeze artists, and I'm the one, if anything happens, I'm the one who has to make the crowd laugh. They perform without a net.
And how does that make you feel?
Really strange.
What year is it?
1817.
Whereabouts do you live with your family?
I guess you call us gypsies, because we live in like a wagon, a gypsy wagon.
And what does the wagon look like?
It's really colorful. There's lots of flowers on the outside. There's red, green, yellow. It's all spiral. We painted it.
Okay, let's go ahead in time now to the next significant event in that lifetime, the next significant event.
I'm watching the trapeze.
And who's on the trapeze?
My dad's the bass, and my brother. They're doing a trick.
And is there an audience?
There's an audience, but they've slipped. My brother's fallen.
And where's your brother now?
On the ground. I'm surrounded by people. I'm supposed to make them laugh. I'm a bit scared, but I know I have to get them away from him. He's still moving. He's not. But he's unconscious. But he's shaking. I have to go. I have to go over to him. I'm getting in. Someone's pulling me.
Who's pulling?
Someone's pulling me. Stop pulling me.
And how does that make you feel?
Really angry. I have to help him. I have to help my brother.
And what does the man say, the man with the hat?
I'm supposed to make people laugh. Make them... I can't make them laugh! They're putting him on this, like a cloth. And they're carrying him.
And what about the audience?
They're being moved back to their seats. And I'm being
Where are you being taken?
I'm being taken out.
Let's move on in time now to the next significant event in that lifetime. And how old are you now?
Mid-20s, I'm like 20, 25, 26. There's no circus anymore.
What happened to the circus?
No, we're not in the circus anymore. There's still a circus, we're not in it. So we're just wandering. My father's worried.
So now you've no money.
Mm.
And how do you live? How do you find the money for food?
We scrounge and beg.
Okay, let's go ahead in time to the next significant event in that lifetime, the next significant event.
My brother's dead, and I'm looking after my parents.
And where are you living now?
We're still in the wagon. Oh.
What's happened? Hmm?
I'm a thief.
You're a thief?
Yep. Don't tell anyone. My mom and dad don't know.
And what do you steal?
Things.
What kind of things?
Food. Ooh, it makes me really nervous to talk about it.
And why is that?
I don't know. I think it's because I know it's wrong. We have to have it. I quite like it.
Mm-hmm. You like stealing things?
Yep.
Why do you like
It's
stealing?
exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting.
Okay, let's go ahead in time to the next significant event in that lifetime, the next significant event. What's happening now?
I'm in jail.
And how come you're in jail?
I stole off a woman in one of those kind of women.
And what did you steal from this woman?
I tried to steal her bag. It had lots of money in it.
And what did the notes look like, or the coins?
They were blue. There was a picture on them of an old man with a beard, pointy beard, goatee, like goatee, with a mustache around his mouth and down the pointy beard like that.
And did he have a name?
Rockmannen? No. I don't know. I can't say it. I can't pronounce it.
And how did they find you?
I was running. There was a fire. They burned my wagon.
Who burned your wagon?
The people who came to get me.
And who were these people?
People from the town.
What was the town's name?
Bucharest.
Mm-hmm. And what year was this when they burnt your wagon?
1860.
So there you are. That's we've had people who've sort of burst into tears, all sorts of high emotion in these sort of things. But I mean, that was a real roller coaster.
Yeah, I was laughing and everything. That's bizarre. I like the bit where I like it. Stealing. That is bizarre to watch.
Well, obviously we've sent our historian out to see what he could find. So coming up, we are in the front row to see what the history shows. Find out next if John's story checks out.
Well, in 1812 and 1815, the Russians did issue 5-ruble banknotes. It was the job of the clown to distract the audience should the worst happen.
Limited edition Coca-Cola glasses now back at McDonald's. There are 6 to collect, 1 free with every large deli meal, premium salad or large extra value meal.
Now, if you're going to do the colour up thing, be careful. You might look like a vampire.
100% cotton polo shirts from 2 for £2 at George.
There's a new deodorant range from Radox with minerals. Radox Daily Elements gives you proven care and 24-hour protection. New Daily Elements deodorants by Radox. With minerals, Radox know how.
Oh, girls, look!
Boys are back in town.
Sunsilk, hair that makes things happen.
Because people are always popping round, I like to keep my home smelling nice. Airwick Express is perfect. Filling the room with gorgeous essential oils. And I can increase the fragrance with this unique booster button. Oh, I love that smell. Airwick, it's good to be home. And I've got 3 new essential oils to choose from, like freesia and jasmine.
Release our best ever freshness. All day, all night.
Doodles, baby.
Only with new Comfort Concentrates.
The Hillary's half-price sale is now on. Choose at home from selected ranges, all made to measure especially for you. What's more, we'll provide a no-obligation quote, plus free measuring and fitting. We've a huge choice of verticals, Romans, rollers, pleateds, and our latest Venetians range, with many blinds at half price. But hurry, the Hillary's half-price sale is only on while stocks last. So see us in Yellow Pages, online at hillarys.co.uk, or call now on 0800 916 7796.
Jake's dad bought him a laptop, and he's got an Xbox 360 and a new iPod, 30 gigs and video playback. Dad, he's dead jammy.
I'm looking forward to meeting Jake's dad at Sports Day.
Oh, he won't be there. He never is. He's more of a virtual dad. Not like you. Can't get rid of you.
Werther's Original, made from real butter and fresh cream.
It's the Dreams 20th anniversary mega sale, and there's 50% off thousands of beds. Plus, celebrate and save with an extra 20% off everything in our anniversary range. There's free credit on every bed and thousands in stock for next day delivery. So celebrate and save with 50% off thousands of beds, plus an extra 20% off everything in our anniversary range. But hurry, it's the final days of the Dreams mega sale.
A little dream of me.
Now, welcome back. Before the break, John Barrowman treated us to ringside seats at the circus as he appeared to experience life as a clown in a past life.
I'm a clown.
What's funny?
I'm looking at myself in the mirror.
And how do you look?
I look very silly.
OK, it's time to find out if John's story is more fact than fiction as we catch up with historian Jules Hudson. Ready?
Ready?
Here we go.
So John takes us back to the colourful city of Bucharest back in 1817 for what appears to be quite a tantalising story of life in the early circus. But as ever, is there any truth in it? Were there circuses back in the early 1800s, and can I find any trace of Oliver Nostrovich? Or is this whole story just the product of John's wild imagination clowning around? Let's see what we can find.
You inside or outside?
I'm inside.
And what are you inside of?
Tent.
What kind of tent?
Circus tent.
And how do you feel in the circus tent?
Happy.
Well, happy or not, the question is, could our man have been in a tent back in 1817? Now, the modern circus as we know it doesn't start until around about 1768, but it was a much simpler affair, just a couple of jugglers and a couple of acrobats in an open field without a tent in sight. But by the early 1800s, exactly the date we're talking about, the tent very definitely has made an appearance. So far so good. But the next clue is, I think, particularly colourful, which is why I've come down here to the Clown Museum in London to check it out.
I'm a clown.
What are you wearing?
Like a parachute kind of outfit. It's very big, with ruffles. And I have big red feet and a really white face and the pointed hat. And I have a big red bauble on the top. My name's Oliver.
Now, having the name of Oliver is really useful, but it's his description of the clown which I think is really revealing. Now, if you and I think of a clown today, we think of a man with a big red nose and large floppy feet, but if we looked at one back in history, our image might be quite different. Have a look at this guy. It's a picture of a man called Joseph Grimaldi, a man regarded by many as the father of modern clowning. Now, he was the first man to introduce face paint, white paint and lots of it, just as John describes in his regression. And what's more, he was at the height of his fame in 1817, exactly the date John gives us. Now, one of the most important parts of the Clown Museum is this thing. It's called the Egg Register. Now, the Code of Clowning states that each clown should have their own individual look and their own individual act to make them absolutely unique from one another. And their faces are recorded on these eggs like a sort of a clown trademark, if you like. Here, for example, is our old friend Joseph Grimaldi. I just wonder what Oliver's egg would have looked like.
I'm watching the trapeze. They're doing a trick.
And is there an audience?
There's an audience, but it's not, they've slipped. My brother's fallen.
Here I am at the Moscow State Circus. Now, when most of us think of the trapeze, we tend to think of this, the flying trapeze. As an act, it was developed in 1859 in France by a man called Jules Liotard, a guy now more famous for his skin-tight clothing than for acts like this. But just standing underneath it, there's no doubt that a fall from that height would indeed be fatal. But John goes on to give us more details about the trapeze itself.
My family are trapeze artists, and I'm the one, if anything happens, I'm the one who has to make the crowd laugh. They perform without a net.
And how does that make you feel?
Really strange.
Well, John certainly does give us lots of detail, but there is a conflict. Now, the date he gives us is 1817, but as we've seen, trapeze doesn't come in until the 1850s. So, to be frank, the date is a problem, but you can't overlook all that detail. Now, early trapeze was rigged just 15 feet off the floor. It didn't use a net, just as John describes, but of course, accidents could and did occur, and it was the job of the clown to distract the audience should the worst happen. So all in all, I think this is pretty good. But what about his name?
And what's your family name?
Nostrovich. Oliver Nostrovich.
Now, the great thing about family names is that their origins and their history can be a real help in trying to make sense of stories, just like this one. Now, to my mind, Nostrovich is a bit Slavic. It certainly sounds very Russian, yet the story we learn is set in Bucharest, miles away. So the question is, how could Oliver have got there? Well, the good thing is that his family were travellers. Romany travellers had two names, one of which was public, and traditionally it was based upon the language and the culture of the place in which they had settled. Now, at the time, in the early 1800s, control of Bucharest was being disputed by, amongst others, the Russians. So, is this where Oliver gets his surname?
I guess you call us gypsies, because we live in a gypsy wagon.
And what does the wagon look like?
It's really colorful. Lots of flowers on the outside. We painted it.
Now, we're all familiar with the traditional 19th century image of a wooden Romany caravan, gaily painted. But the truth is, back in 1817, the caravan itself would have been slightly different. It wasn't made of wood, it was made of canvas, a bit like one of those things you'd see in a Western movie. But just as John describes, it too would have been highly decorated. So all in all, I think the Romany picture we're getting isn't bad. But there is one more detail.
I tried to steal her bag. It had lots of money in it.
What did the notes look like, or the coins?
They were blue. There was a picture on them of an old man with a beard, pointy beard.
Now, the detail that John describes on the banknote might help support the rest of the story. Now, bear in mind we're looking at Bucharest in 1817, a city soon to come under Russian control. Well, in 1812 and 1815, the Russians did issue 5 ruble banknotes, and they were big and they were blue, so it seems perfectly reasonable that such a thing could have been up for grabs in Bucharest.
I'm in jail.
And how come you're in jail?
I stole off a woman.
Whatever the truth behind the story of our tragic clown, there is no doubt that there are more than a couple of good details and some interesting history to back them up. But as ever, does it get us any closer to revealing the man behind the face paint?
How do you feel now?
I'm actually quite stunned because I thought, you know, the one thing that probably would not be right would be the money. You ask me, John, which is the money of that time, of that era. I couldn't even tell you what was before shillings and pence. And they said it was big, blue, and I mean, that was exactly what I saw, big blue notes.
Let's have a look at some of the other bits and pieces that we saw there. You were very animated, as we said. How did you feel when you were regressed? Because the pictures seemed to be very vivid.
Well, they were very vivid in my head, and when I was describing something, I was actually, I mean, I remember looking down at the outfit and seeing the outfit on myself. It was almost like I stepped out of myself in the chair and looked at everything else. I remember feeling happy. You know,
strong emotions.
Strong emotions inside, and that's, I would say that's why I was laughing.
Yeah. What do you know about circuses and clowns? Are you a fan of the circus?
I've been to Cirque du Soleil, you know, and I probably was taken to a circus as a child. You know, it's foreign to me.
What, are there any parallels between his life then and your life now?
Well, yeah, I mean, I have a very close-knit family myself. I speak to my mother and father every day, and my sister. I speak to my brother a lot.
What about the job of a clown, as you said there, was that he would distract should something go wrong. Right. What about you? If you're in an embarrassing situation, if something goes quiet at a meal, are you the one that jumps in?
Yes, I'm the first one to jump in and to do it. It's funny because as we're talking about this now, I probably was the most clear and focused I have been in a long time after I did this. I'm still very much Oliver in that aspect of trying to make people laugh, trying to fill in the blanks, trying to keep the story going, that kind of thing.
And the thieving?
I will say no. No on that one.
He was a very happy thief, wasn't he? I mean, loved the excitement, loved the thrill, quite obviously.
Now, see, I can relate to that aspect because there's a side to us that if you do something that's a little naughty, you get a thrill from it. I like extreme sports, that kind of stuff, and I get that thrill that he said he was experiencing from the stealing. And you know, I've done some extreme things sport-wise that I know if my mother and father, if they would probably, you know, clip me around the ear. But you know, it's that kind of thing. Oh, don't tell them.
What about the exotic location? Were you surprised that you picked? I mean, you what are you born in London? Italian?
I was born in Glasgow.
Right.
And raised. Then my father moved us to the U.S. with the company, and I was raised then in the Midwest. But I don't know of any Russian or, you know, Eastern influence in the family at all. So that's a bit of a, where does that come from?
Well, you're not a serious clown now, so you can't actually go into the clown registry. But we have actually had your clown made. So there you are.
Fantastic.
That's just a little memento of your past life.
Absolutely great.
There's Oliver. So then, have you been here before?
I think I have. I mean, I believe it, and this kind of proves it. Well, you know, it solidifies it for me. And even if I wasn't, I think I was, but it was a great experience. I think I have been here before.
John, thank you very much. Well, there you go. John thinks he's been here before. What do you think? That's it for now. But next time on Have I Been Here Before?
Forbidden love, a secret affair with a common carpenter. Trapped, a loveless marriage with a man who doesn't care. But whose past life will it be?
Victorian society was fundamentally divided by class, and it was obsessed with ideas of being seen to do the right thing.